my channel, Reclaiming Jen, where moms can take a break from the busy mom life and focus on their own needs, wants, and goals. On my channel, I talk about online teaching and I help others start working from home too. In today's video, I want to talk to you about my journey with starting to teach on Outschool. So as you may have seen in my previous videos that I'll link here, I have started teaching with Outschool. I really wanted to stick with the ESL genre, and so I have created some classes to attract ESL students from around the world. Now, originally I had hoped to teach classes after my VIPKid classes. So from 9 a.m. to noon is when I had hoped to get some bookings in there. But that didn't actually work out so well. And so for now, I've closed those slots and I'm concentrating on Sundays. I used to have Sunday as my day off, and now I am teaching with Outschool on Sunday mornings during those peak hours that would have been reserved for VIPKid. So now I haven't had a day off in about 3 weeks, but I changed my day off till Saturday. So next weekend I will have Saturdays off, and so I'm dedicating Sundays for Outschool and Saturdays as my day off, and then Monday through Friday I have VIPKid classes from 5:30. I'm opening up a little bit earlier and till 9 a.m. So, but back to Outschool. So I wanted to talk to you today about how it's going, my first 3 weeks with Outschool. So as I started to tell you, my original hope was that I could teach after VIPKid, but it really turns out that after VIPKid, I'm tired. Like, I need a break, and I'm actually starting to wonder if that's ideal for me, if that's really where I want it to be. But of course, I don't want to start closing my VIPKid slots until my Outschool is more established, because I don't want to give up those hours and, you know, my students that are established. So I'm trying to find that balance. So that's why I opened on my day off with Outschool. So these are the little things you have to do and plan for when you are trying to incorporate more than one company. And we all know how important that is right now. If you've been following the changes that are happening with some of the Chinese companies, it's really important to diversify. So if you are only working for one company right now, I want you to really think hard about having another company as a backup. You know, things happen, and over the last year we have seen some of our favorite Instagrammers or favorite YouTubers really have to change or make adjustments to their online teaching business. So you have to really, I think it's a great time right now to be thinking about long-term, and that anything can happen in the blink of an eye. So I want you to keep that in mind. Really think about how you want to make sure that you have insurance for your income that you make with online teaching. So back to Outschool, my first 3 weeks. So what I only have slots open on Sundays right now. I wanted to try maybe and do Wednesdays as well to close out my Wednesday schedule with VIPKid. I did do that, but I was feeling really overwhelmed with planning, with really making sure that I'm putting a lot of value and quality into my classes that I have on Sunday, and I was feeling pressure. I was feeling a lot of, I was losing sleep at night, guys. So I decided to keep my Wednesday slots open with VIPKid, and for Outschool, I'm just gonna focus right now, really nurture those 3 students that I have on Sunday mornings. So what I have on Sunday mornings is I have 2 ongoing tutoring classes for ESL, and I have 1 time to chat class, which is just a conversation-based class. And when you start on Outschool and you get your learners signing up, sometimes you won't get them signed up yet. The parent will want to communicate with you about what their goals are for their child, what their child is interested in doing during these classes, especially when you're one-on-one. So that's what happened. I had some sign-ups, I had some parents chatting with me first, and then they signed up. And I just really got to know what their goals were for that student, and I went to town planning what I was going to do for those students. And just to let you know, I have a student in Taiwan, I have a student in South Korea, and I have a student in Cambodia, which is super fun. It's like so cool. Outschool has recently really started to target their marketing towards South Korea, and I think that this is where these 3 students came from, so it's pretty cool, the timing that I had there. How are my classes going? How is my stress level? Is it going down? How is the pay? Am I getting paid what I expected? How is the workload? How's that going? I'm about to tell you all these things. So the first weekend that I taught the Sunday classes, oh boy, was that ever a stressful weekend. My son fell off a swing. He's 13 and he wasn't holding on. And he fell off and he hurt his wrist. And the next day we decided that we would go for an x-ray because the swelling was up and whatever. So anyway, that was a stressful weekend. I ended up making it through my 3 first classes with Outschool. I actually only had 2 classes. My other student had not yet arrived. So I only had 2 classes to get through. I was so nervous. I lost so much sleep. I planned and made sure I practiced with my daughter on Zoom, and I practiced on my own, making sure that I could share the screen and use the tools and such like that. So really, I was very, very, very nervous. But it went fine, and my son ended up not having a broken wrist, even though it took us 4 hours to find that out in the ER the following day. Everything has worked out. My students now, I've taught my first 2 students 3 times, and then I had another student join in the second week, so I've taught him 2 times, and I'm communicating with the parents. I don't know, I'd like to know if you are an Outschool teacher, if you communicate after each class. How often do you communicate with the parents of your learner? I feel like I am doing it right after class, really trying to build trust with them and tell them my plan, and it's helping that they are also writing back you know, things that they want me to concentrate on. I hope you will do this. I hope that my child can achieve this. So I find it's good, and the parent communication so far is not stressing me out. It is helping kind of guide what I plan to do in the next lesson. So that's going well. I feel like I am communicating between lessons with the parent. Like after my lessons today, I communicated to the parent, this is what we accomplished, I feel that it went well, this is what we will do next time. And then I encourage them to chime in if they like that plan, if they would, yes, it went well today, but I'd like you to do this as well. I really like that open communication and partnership with the parents. Obviously, I'm in my 3rd week of teaching, you know. Maybe you're thinking, I don't do that. And maybe in a year from now, I'll be going, I don't do that. And keep in mind, I do only teach 1 at a time, one-on-one classes right now. So, my stress level's definitely gone down. I think meeting the kids the first time really helps you to know their level of English, what their sentence structure is like, what their interests are. I found that it was an interesting contrast between the Chinese students I usually teach and the interests of the Korean students or you know, the student in Taiwan. It's different than Chinese kids. So that's an adjustment I had to make. Not a big adjustment, but definitely something to keep in mind. You know, they're not as thrilled with some of the activities that I might do with my Chinese students. Definitely the planning has taken less time this week, and then I feel like I'm already pretty planned for the next week. In fact, I have some activities that are going to carry over because we didn't have time to complete them. So, bonus! I reached out to a few friends. I actually posted on my Instagram the first week that I was having trouble with, actually it was last week, with I would share my screen and then come back to seeing us both on the screen, and then when I went back to share the screen again, I could share the screen but I couldn't see us the student and myself. So, and that was a bit of a challenge. It even happened today again. Trying to figure out why that's happening, because I can carry on the course, you know, of course I can carry on and do a great job still, but I'm still not being able to see the expressions on my student's face. So, you know, that helps you determine how much wait time you want to give them. You can tell when they're thinking, or if they're not even on the screen. I can't tell because I can't see him. And the efforts that I took to try and get that back up didn't work. He even tried to help me. So those technical glitches, I hope, are diminished now. I hope those are over, because I had a wonderful teacher friend suggest for me to update my app, and it did turn out that my Zoom app is not up to date. So I'm hoping that will help with those little glitches. I also had a challenge in my third class today trying to share my Apple screen with the student. I wanted to do a Stars to Apples Canadian game that I had, because we were talking about Canada today, and it was glitchy, so it didn't work out. I had a video made of slides of my family doing Canadian things, and so I just had to hold that up. So, and I was so thrilled last night that it worked, because I even called my husband and, come here, look what I did. You know, I'm sharing my phone. It's not even hooked up to the computer. Like, I'm such a nerd. Oh, 40s. The 40s are grand. And you're trying to deal with technology. The other thing I wanted to talk about was PayPal. I'm already getting paid by PayPal for Gogokid. Guys, if you are getting paid by Gogokid and you are getting paid in TransferWise, can you let me know how and where I go ahead and set that up? Because I would like it to be sent to my TransferWise if possible. And Outschool too. I'm pretty sure Outschool only pays you by PayPal. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the only thing I notice about that is that the exchange rate is lower than TransferWise. But there's no fee to transfer it. Although TransferWise only takes like the same day or the next day it comes, depending on what time of day you transfer. And to transfer from PayPal takes, what did it say, like 4 to 7 days or something, which seems strange to me, but then maybe the fee would be comparable. So anyway, chime in if you are working for another company and you are getting paid by TransferWise. I want to be paid by TransferWise if I can. And guys, if you are Canadian and you are not using TransferWise, I would highly recommend it. The exchange rate is awesome. It's higher than your bank rate, and the fee to transfer your money from TransferWise to your Canadian bank account is minimal. I usually, if I transfer $300, the fee is less than $2. So keep that in mind. And I should be making a video soon about TransferWise, but until then, I always share teacher Teresa's video. She has an awesome video about TransferWise, and she teaches you step by step what to do and what to sign up for, and she makes sure that you did it right. So check out that video on YouTube. All right, guys, that's how my my classes on Outschool are going so far. If you have children that want to learn English, you can check out my listings on Outschool. I think that's it. If you found this information helpful, you know it helps me out if you click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my other videos. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.